Good morning, everyone. Well, goodness me, is it lovely to be back here catching up with you guys. It has been a little while since we've been sitting here having a good old catch. I say it's been a while. It's been a while for me. For you guys, it literally would have been the space of one vlog, but I have actually not sat down here to catch up with you guys for about a week and a half now. It feels like it's been absolutely ages. It's been longer than just the Madeira vlog and just the Madeira holiday, because this weekend, it is currently Monday morning, and this weekend was literally vegetation. This weekend I think is the best way to describe it, but I actually ended up picking up a cold whilst I was away on holiday. At first I thought it was just the aircon. You know when you feel like the back of the throat when you kind of like wake up in the morning, the aircon's just like a little bit like harsh. I think as a Brit, despite the fact that we've got the mini aircon unit, I feel like the big aircon kind of built-in systems, they're just like a little bit more intense than what we're used to. So as a Brit, I often find on holidays I wake up like a little bit dry throat, and like it's a little bit, I don't know, I feel like my skin feels it, my throat feels it, and I just thought it was the aircon. I wasn't really thinking much of it, and then it wasn't until literally the day that we were traveling home that as the day went on, I was just getting more and more sniffly. I was getting more and more like lethargic, and I could just feel like my whole body aching, like literally aching. And on Saturday morning I'd literally lost my voice. Like I feel like you can still kind of hear it in my voice a little bit. I'm pretty much over the cold now, but you know when it just kind of lingers ever so slightly and you don't quite sound like yourself. I feel like that's kind of the stage that I am at. But Saturday morning I'd literally lost my voice. Alex found it hilarious. Like he was literally crying with laughter, going, "Sorry, I can't hear you. Sorry, I can't hear you." Like every time I wanted his attention I had to like bang on the table like a toddler. I had to just go and then like get him to come over to me, just like whisper to him like, honestly though, it was one of those colds that just, it was quick but it was brutal. So I pretty much spent the whole of Saturday on the sofa. By Sunday Alex actually managed to get me up and out of the house, and it really cheered me up, and I feel like it did make me feel better. But he has nursed me back to health. I literally said to him, "You're the best boyfriend in the world," or fiance, sorry, I still call him my boyfriend. "You're the best fiance in the world," because when I came home he was like, "Right, what do we want to eat? What do you want to do?" And I was like, "I just want your home cooked meals," because you guys know Alex is an amazing chef. So I was like, "I just want your home cooked meals." So we did like steak sandwiches, he did like a stir fry, he did like some chicken dishes, and it was so lovely. And I feel like that really helped with regards to kind of like getting better. And the day I got home I literally wanted to cry with happiness because of how sweet he was. Like he'd completely cleaned the house. I mean obviously you guys had seen I've been doing lots of like cleaning and tidying and pottering before I went, but like he did a deep clean of the house before I came back. We had fresh sheets on the bed, and he'd even washed the towels. And if you know me, fresh towels are like up there with fresh sheets for me. Like there's nothing better than having like your everything shower and using a fresh towel to dry yourself. Oh, it was just the best, the absolute best. So I was really grateful for him. But I am feeling a lot better today. I feel like the cold is kind of like, I've beat it, I think is the best way to describe it. Like I'm coming out the other end, and I wanted to pick up the camera this morning because I have been editing the Madeira vlog, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I was actually getting really emotional when I was editing it. I think it's one of my favorite vlogs to date. It's definitely one of those vlogs that I'm gonna go back and watch again. I'm not really someone that like watches my own videos very often, but that vlog I definitely think I'm gonna go back and watch because it was just so special. Like it really was so special to be able to take my mum away with me. Obviously she doesn't really like being on camera, so I always kind of like keep her off camera, but to be able to take her away with me, to be able to take her on holiday, we had the best week. Like, you know, sometimes when you go away with someone and you're kind of like, okay, I'm ready for my own space, I'm ready to be home. Like, I didn't feel like that at all. I feel like we just get on so well. Like our routines match so well. We like to go for like an early morning walk. We were in bed by pretty much like 10:30 every single evening, and like what we wanted to do, what we wanted to see, like when we wanted to spend the pool day, we just aligned perfectly, and there was nothing better than that. So I honestly just loved the trip, loved the photos that we got as well. There should be some more coming out. Go on over to my Instagram because I've been uploading like get ready with me's, I've been uploading photos from the trip, and I've also been doing quite a few TikToks. I really enjoyed doing TikToks whilst I was out there. I feel like when I'm at home I am useless at TikTok. Like I just never really remember to pick up my phone in order to like actively film a TikTok, whereas I feel like when I'm away and I'm just taking like lots of videos and like getting like shots and like clips and stuff like that, it just kind of like lends itself well to TikTok. So make sure to go and check over my TikTok as well, and there will be lots more coming. I feel like we're only about halfway through the Madeira content at the moment, and yeah, it was just such a special trip. So I haven't gone If you haven't gone and watched that video yet, go back and check it out. It is a long old vlog. You will need snacks, you'll need a drink, you'll need to get yourself comfy, but it was so much fun. And I feel like I really like discovered Madeira as like a holiday destination. Everyone that I speak to, whenever I talk about Madeira, like 99% of people know where it is, like know what I'm talking about, know where the island is, they've heard of Madeira. But everyone's like, oh, I never really thought to go away there. Oh, I've never really thought to go on holiday there. Like, oh yeah, I was thinking about it, but then I decided to go Gran Canaria or like something else. And honestly, I can say with 10,000% certainty, it is an amazing holiday destination. Like, we had such a good trip, and 5 days was like a really good amount of time to spend there. You could easily spend less or you could easily spend more. Like, I feel like 3 nights would probably be like the minimum I would do. 7 to 10 days you could easily do if you just want to like chill by the pool, and also if you want to discover more of the island, because we stayed very south and kind of like very within our area. But if you want to discover more of the island, like the east of the island is supposed to be really beautiful, a bit more like beachy, a little bit more kind of like bars and restaurants and like resorty, and then the north of the island is a lot more like mountainous and treks and hikes and cycles and like things like that. So I feel like you could easily spend like 2 weeks in Madeira, and it would also be great for a hot holiday because it is so close to the equator. It's very close to the Canary Islands and obviously just off the coast of Africa, so it pretty much stays hot all year round. Like, apparently it stays between about 25 and 28 degrees pretty much all year round. The best time to go, actually, they said, is like July, August, September. That's like a really nice temperature. But also a lot of people said like February, March is an amazing time to head over. So yeah, would definitely recommend checking out Madeira and just having a look for your next holiday, because it was just absolutely amazing. And yeah, I'm excited to get the vlog up because I absolutely loved the vlog, and it's not often that I'm like, I love this vlog, I'm gonna watch this vlog back. This is like a really special vlog. So yeah, it was such a lovely trip. But as I said, Alex has nursed me back to health, and we actually spent a lot of this weekend just kind of like doing some pottering and some jobs. I did a bit of a tidy up of the garden before I went, but it did still need like a little bit of a spruce up. Quite a lot of things have gone over. It's a bit of a shame actually, because we have had such rubbish weather this summer. Like, pretty much the entirety of July it was just cold, wet and miserable. Fingers crossed the weather is going to start improving this August. I was actually watching a really interesting video about the jet streams and about the weather that we've been having this year. So many Brits are obviously complaining that we're having rubbish weather. Like, why is the weather so bad? Why are we having such different weather to last year? Because this time last year, particularly in like the last week of July, I think we had like 30-40 degree weather. Like, we were in the heat wave that Europe is currently having. And apparently, really interestingly, we are actually having an almost identical jet stream to what we had last year. So the jet stream is currently doing this. Now, a kind of steady jet stream means that your weather is pretty like, you know, normal, what you kind of expect for that season. When it starts doing this is when you get the extremes. So obviously Europe was in a heat wave, and last year we were in the high pressure point. So we were in that heat wave, whereas this year, as it's going down, we are just on the outside of the kind of like curve, which is why we've had such rainy, cold, miserable weather this July. So fingers crossed it's going to be brightening up for August, and we're going to start to get a little bit more of kind of like summer weather, because it has literally been feeling like autumn. I'm not gonna lie, and I actually this weekend have kind of started to get excited for autumn. I have been doing a little bit of home updates, obviously doing a bit of garden maintenance and getting the garden kind of like ready for the next season. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that we do have a heat wave here in August in the UK, because I think it would just be so lovely to get that kind of like spurt of summer back, that like regeneration of summer. Because as much as I did love a cozy weekend, I'm not quite ready for autumn in August. Like, I feel like September, October time is when I start to get excited about it. And that being said, actually, I think it's going to be even later this year, because September I have so many more travels. I did say that in my last vlog as well. Actually, I have lots of travels planned for this year. I've got a trip at the end of this month. I've got a big trip in September. I've got 2 trips in September actually. So I think I'm not gonna like let myself get properly ready for autumn until like early October, like late September, early October. But that being said, I kind of got into a little bit of like nesting mode this weekend. I feel like it was a mixture of the weather and how I was feeling, just how ill I was. And one thing that my fiance knows me really well for is that, number one, he gave me fresh sheets, gave me fresh towels. I had an amazing house to come home to. But number two, when he realised that I was feeling a little bit better on Sunday, maybe needed a bit more like mental cheering up rather than like pure physical kind of like cheering up, you know what I mean? So basically we went shopping is the long and short of it, and he took me to Homesense, and I feel like that to me is why, again, I felt very autumnal, because Homesense is such a like autumn place for me. Like I love going when it starts to get a little bit autumnal. They had all of their Halloween decorations out, I won't lie to you, and it just feels really cozy. You add some more like textures and tones into your home, and so that's what I did. Yesterday we had a big old Homesense shop, so I want to show you the updates because I've been updating the home a little bit. I've just like kind of been giving things a little bit of a rejig and a little bit of a kind of like zhuzh up, and I'm loving how it is looking. I've literally just been chatting nonsense for the last 10 minutes, but I just wanted to have a little bit of a catch up. I feel like it's been a bit of an overdue catch up after the holiday to let you know how Madeira was, how the trip was, and just what I've been getting up to since. So let's go down. I'm going to show you the updates because I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. Even the weather today is giving like pure autumnal vibes. We've just got like a grey, little bit kind of like little patches of blue sky, but such an autumnal day. And as you can see, I had a little bit of a rejudge in the garden because quite a few things have gone over actually. My sweet peas I need to get rid of. I'm so sad. Let's go out actually and I can show you the updates. The sweet peas have gone over, which I'm heartbroken about because they were literally my favourite thing this year. I've also taken out my lupins from the pot. I want to do a little bit of a garden centre trip to kind of revitalise the garden, ready for hopefully summer part 2 basically. I've decided we're going to have a summer part 2. I'm manifesting it. But one of the biggest things I did is give my veg truck a really good tidy up. I completely pulled up the lettuce because they had it bolted. The spinach is still doing really well. I was debating whether to pull up the tomatoes, but we do actually have some new growth. It stopped for a while, and as you can see, a lot of it has flowered, and then we had a little bit of a kind of regrowth come through. So I'm excited for those, but what I'm most excited about is my peppers. I did say that I think, as you can see, it's a little bit wet because it was raining yesterday. Look at the size. Can you see this one? So difficult for you to see because there's obviously loads of leaves in the way, but they are huge, absolutely huge. I was hoping to start harvesting them like as I came back, but I feel like they maybe still need maybe a week or so until I can start harvesting. Oh my god, this one is massive. Oh, I'm really excited. So it was really nice to give the veg truck a bit of a rejudge as well and just give things that like needed it a bit more space. I think my onions might just about be ready as well. Maybe when I harvest the peppers, I'll also do an onion harvest and we can have like a full stir fry with all of my own veg. But updates inside, let's go in. I normally have a bit of a rule when I go to Homesense, and I feel like I say this about a lot of places, things like Homesense, Designer Outlets, Gunwharf Quays, Bicester, where you don't tell Homesense what you want, Homesense tells you. But actually this trip was a little bit different because in order to call me out of the house, I think Alex knew that I needed like a mission. I needed like a challenge. He was like, what do you want? What have you been looking for from Homesense? And one of the things I really wanted to do is update the kind of like decorations on the couch. The decorations on the couch? The cushions on the couch. I was actually watching as I was flying home from Madeira. I was watching Victoria, used to be in the Fro, but Victoria McGrath's new gorgeous flat in Manchester, and I watched her 24-hour home makeover, and I was obsessed with those Soho home cushions that she showed. Went online to have a look at how much they were and couldn't have closed the tab any quicker. I was not about to spend that amount of money on cushions. So I figured the best place to look would be Homesense because they always have some amazing cushions. They actually had some William Morris ones there, but they weren't quite, I feel like, you can feel how chesty I am, hang on. That's a little bit better. They weren't quite our colour scheme, they were more like greeny, and we only have green for outside. They weren't outside cushions, so I didn't end up getting them. Knocking into the flowers here. But yes, I figured Homesense would be the best place to look. I was also looking for a little footstool for the corner, and all I'm going to say is, let's just say it was mission successful at Homesense. Yes, so I obviously didn't vlog when we were there, but we went to the one in Hedge End down here in Hampshire, and oh my goodness, it's such a good one. If you live locally, if you live anywhere nearby, it is huge, like one of the biggest Homesenses I have ever been to. So let's just say it was mission successful, and I am so happy with the new updates that we have on the sofa. Now, I didn't intend for them to be this autumnal. I didn't know what colour I was going to go for, but I think I've spoken about this a lot. I'm kind of over the sad beige aesthetic. I feel like I'm using that term a little bit meanly because I epitomise the sad beige aesthetic. Like, I had a white sofa, I had like literally nothing but neutral tones, but I'm really wanting to add just a bit more colour into our home. And I do still love, you know, obviously I love my neutrals. I've got like a neutral sofa. I'm not exactly going to replace this for like a bright blue sofa anytime soon, but I'm just loving being able to add in pops of colour through my accessories. So I've added in these stunning cushions from from Homesense, and they were so affordable. I believe these were £30 each, so £60 for the both of them, which is even more affordable than the William Morris ones that I bought from John Lewis. Goodness me, I have to keep clearing my throat. I'm so sorry. But these are huge, and that's one of the things that I really wanted, is to add like a bigger cushion in, because I felt like the cushions we had before, the sofa was kind of swallowing them up. It's a huge sofa. Like, I feel like, because obviously the space is quite big, like even if I come back here, you can't quite appreciate how big it is. But Alex can sit there and I can sit there with my legs out and I don't even touch him. Like, we can fit about 4 people on this sofa very comfortably. You can even fit actually 2 people kind of per cushion. So in theory, you could probably fit about 8 people on here. The amount of times that me and Alex both, we call this the cuddle corner. We both come and have a little cuddle on the chaise longue. But yeah, I just really wanted to add these like massive, really big, squishy cushions. And I can't tell you how squishy these are. Like, they are, look at that, absolutely amazing. So this really cool kind of like flowery print. It looks like it's painted on, which I really like. We've got some like white, these look like hydrangeas, the leaves, potentially more hydrangeas, I'm not entirely sure, maybe some like poppies, but I absolutely loved the tones and textures. I love the fact that there was a pop of blue as well. Obviously there's a little bit of green, but I mainly loved the kind of like reds and the oranges and the whites and the tones. And I also love the fact that they're this really gorgeous, just like plain beige. So if I didn't want the red, I could turn them over this way, but I really liked them, and I actually kind of think they work with the William Morris cushions. Now, I've never really been a colour coordinator before, so I feel like this is going to be a big learning curve for me, adding colour into our home, and I might make mistakes, I might do things that aren't right, so let me know if you think that they work together, the like red with the blue. I feel like the kind of like creamy tones of the flowers are what brings these cushions in together. But if you don't think these work, these could move into Alex's office, and then I could look for some new cushions for here to match with the red. But for now, I really like it. I think it really works. And then the other thing that I'm really excited about is this new purchase, which is a gorgeous little footstool. So as I said, I really wanted to get a footstool for this Ellie nook. As you know, I've got multiple Ellie nooks in this house, but this is the one that I like to sit. This is actually where I've been sitting all morning this morning, just editing on my laptop, catching up with emails, doing admin and all of that jazz. And it's where I like to sit and just kind of like spend the morning. I like to have my morning coffee. I'll often watch the sunrise on nice sunny days. And I really like just being in this corner. I think this is just such a lovely corner to be, but I really wanted somewhere to put my feet up a little bit more and just make it a little bit more cozy. So I found this gorgeous little footstool at Homesense. They had loads of different patterns, but I really liked the blue with the white and black in the flowers. I think it's so pretty and goes really well with the kind of like aesthetic that we've got going on in the living room. So I'm super happy with how that is looking, and I feel like the space is just adding a little bit more colour, adding a little bit more texture, and those were some really great purchases. Now, when I say that it was a successful haul, I'm not joking, because we currently have this massive bag that I need to unbox with you. So I might sit down, we can go through this together, because be warned, I was not feeling well. Retail therapy was the only thing getting me through this weekend. We've got a lot in here. Honestly, if you could see what I use as a tripod sometimes, I feel like everyone knows that like the real vloggers, we don't actually get our tripods out very often. Like, I have stacked you on top of about 5 glasses right now. Definitely unstable. If someone walked in this room right now, they would be like, what on earth are you doing? But I've set you down here so that we can go through the Homesense bag, because this is so heavy that I cannot even lift this. I've literally just had to like slide it along the floor. Thankfully, I had Alex with me when I was doing the shopping, so he carried it to the car, but my goodness me, have we got a lot in here, which I'm going to start with actually one of the cutest things that Alex actually bought me. He saw it and picked it up for me, and this is basically a replacement of one of my favourite mugs. I've gone very dark there, sorry. One of my favourite mugs that actually broke in the dishwasher. I think as we were like unloading it, I just kind of like knocked it into another glass, and it cracked all the way down the middle. It was like a cute little Cath Kids mug, and I loved it, and I was so sad, and he picked this one up and went, this is a replacement of your favorite mug, and it's around like the same size, which I feel like if you are a regular hot drink drinker, you'll know that size, like feel, handle width, breadth, like the width of kind of like how big it is, all of this matters when it comes to tea or coffee drinking. And I just thought it was so cute that he picked it up. So yeah, that was another cheer me up that he got for me. So a really cute little poppy mug, which I can add to my mug collection. I'm not someone that's precious about my mug collection. Like, I don't want them ever to be like uniform. Obviously you would have seen recently that I picked up the 2 from Zara, and I feel like 2 is like the most that I will ever have matching. Other than that, I like them to be quite eclectic. I like them to be different sizes and shapes. Like, I've got good ones that I can give to like guests, good ones that I'm like, this is my morning tea, this is my evening tea. Like, I feel like that is what I like to have with regards to my mugs. The next thing I picked up, speaking of two things matching, this was actually in the sale. They were £1.70 each, and it's just these little kind of like trinket dishes, and I really like these for like little snacks, you know, if you're gonna have like some nuts or some crisps or like some chocolate or anything like that. I always like to do it in a bowl, because if I open a packet and just have the packet open in front of me, I will finish the packet. Like, even if it's like a family size Malteser bag, I will finish that. So I like to just pour out like a few, you know, like a normal size, a normal handful of Maltesers in the bowl, and then I can just kind of snack away. And I really liked the style of them. They're like this little kind of blue polka dots with a little trim on them that I thought was really cute. Okay, then getting into the exciting things, they officially have brought out their seasonal syrups. So I picked up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 syrups. This is how seriously I take my coffee syrup. Let's get them all out actually, and then I can kind of go through all of them. Now, I'm not going to keep all of them. I did bring my mum and say, would you like some, because she also loves her syrups. I feel like you're learning so much about her, despite the fact that she's never on camera. You're learning so much about her having gone away, gone to my graduation, like now that I'm buying her coffee syrups. But yes, she's like me and loves syrup in her coffee, and we always love trying the different like seasonal ones. So the first one I picked up, which isn't so seasonal, is this one. This is my vanilla almond. This is the one that I kind of use all year round. I really like this one because it's not as sweet as like pure vanilla or like caramel, but it's just a really lovely one to add to coffees. And one thing I will say is that it's always great if you see these at Homesense, because they're always so much cheaper. You can actually pick these up on Amazon, so I'll link what I can on Amazon for you guys if you do want to shop them online, if you don't have a Homesense or TK Maxx near you. But they are so much cheaper. They were $4.99, which actually, is that much cheaper? I don't know. I picked up loads anyway. But yes, I got the vanilla almond, which isn't too seasonal. I then picked up a vanilla caramel cream, which sounded absolutely amazing. I feel like this is going to be much more like wintry, like a little bit more autumnal and a little bit wintry. This might be a good one to open in maybe like September time, when I'm wanting to start introducing autumnal vibes into my home, and I'm not quite ready for like the full autumn. So I picked up vanilla caramel cream, which looked amazing. I then picked up, there's another vanilla almond. That one's for mum. That one's very Christmassy. I'll show you that one in a minute. Oh, another vanilla almond. Wow, I got 3 of those. Well done me. Okay, this one I'm really excited about. I got 2 of these, one for me and one for mum. This is the pumpkin pecan waffle. I really liked the sound of that, because I feel like the pecan's going to give it a little bit more of like a sweetness to it. Like the pecan waffle, I feel like it's going to be a little bit more sweet. Sometimes pumpkin syrup can be a little bit sharp for me, so I'm really excited about those. And they've even got the seasonal packaging. That is what's making me excited for autumn. I can't believe I keep talking about autumn in this video. Now these ones are a little bit more, I don't want to quite say festive, but I would definitely say more into like late October, early November time. So first up is hazelnut, and this to me is such a like wintry flavour and a wintry taste. I absolutely love this though. I really love opening this around Christmas time, so I picked that one up. And then I also picked up the cinnamon vanilla, which I have never tried before. I've tried that straight up cinnamon, I believe, but I've not tried cinnamon vanilla, so I really liked the sound of that. And that I can open in November, when we really want to incorporate those festive vibes into our morning coffee. I am getting way ahead of myself, but that is what Homesense was giving me. Like the fact that they had all the Halloween decorations out, the fact that it was like tipping with rain outside, and like I was feeling really like under the weather, which normally you get a cold in kind of like, you know, September, October time. It was very autumnal. So picked up lots of syrups as well as the home pieces. And then the last thing I picked up, which I'm so excited about, is this. Now, if you watch my Chewton Glen vlog, you'll remember that when I was going around, I was giving like a little bit of a tour of the grounds, and I was chatting about what I want to do in the garden. I feel like this is the only item that's like, we're coming back into summer now. Like, come on, let's bring it back into summer. We are only in August. And I saw the cutest, it was quite heavy, so I'm just gonna like rest it on my knee. I saw the cutest little display that they had of loads of like flower pots, and one of them was kind of like a basket, like it was a terracotta pot like this, like a clay pot, but it was in the shape of a basket, and I really wanted to get it. I've not found anything similar since, until I saw, oh my goodness, I've just got lots of clay on my knee now, but I saw this at Homesense and it was $6.99. So I figured that this would be perfect just to fill up with soil and put some like cute little flowers in. And I feel like this could be really seasonal. Like you could do daisies in, not daisies, what am I thinking of? Tulips, or, no, oh, what are they called? They're yellow and they come out in spring. I cannot think of the name of them. I feel like my brain is just not working, but you can go for some very, very seasonal flowers. So an early spring tulips or sunflowers. What are they called? Anyway, you can go for that in spring. In summer, you could go with like roses or peonies or something like that. And then maybe autumn, I could put in some like dahlias, some like late flowering dahlias, or even, could mini sunflowers go in here? I don't know. But I just thought it was the cutest thing ever. So I picked that up as well. And that's going to get me back into the gardening. I know I've spoken about this a lot, but I am a bit of a fair weather gardener. Like, I don't really like being out in the garden when it's not like beautiful sunshine, and if it's like raining and things like that. So I'm kind of thinking that maybe I'm just gonna wait for like a beautiful weather day and I can do a full garden centre visit, garden revamp, and get it like ready for summer part 2 for the fingers crossed heat wave that we have in August, September time. I lied. I have just realised, I'm out of breath just from going up the stairs. Why is it as soon as you catch a cold? I probably should have waited to vlog until tomorrow because I feel like there's been a lot of interruptions, lots of coughs, sneezes, being out of breath, but I just wanted to chat to you guys because I feel like 2 days of like not doing much, I'm like ready for the energy today. But I realized I lied. There was one more thing, or I guess 2 more things that I did buy, which I completely forgot about because they are up here in the bedroom, and that is 2 more cushions. Honestly, the lady at the till was like, oh, have you got enough cushions there? But I picked up these gorgeous grey cushions for this room. Now, this is the one room that I'm not going to be making any changes in terms of colour. This room is just grey, and I like it that way because I feel like it makes it so calm and so tranquil, and I really, really like this space to be as tranquil as possible. So I picked up these gorgeous cushions that I saw, and I wasn't intending on getting cushions for this room, but I saw these and just fell in love. They are the softest thing ever. Like, the back is just this like plain grey velvet, which I really like, and then the front is this kind of eucalyptusy, almost like olive leaf print, which I really, really like. And I've just paired them with one of the cushions that I had up here before. This is a cushion cover from H&M Home. One thing I love about buying cushions as well from Homesense is the fact that you can actually shop the insert as well. So these are quite nice inserts. They're not like duck feather or anything like that. They're not as like big and kind of luxurious as the ones downstairs, but that's fine because these are basically just purely for display. And I'm really, really happy with how they go. One thing that does annoy me about grey is that there's so many different shades of grey. Like, this is a darker shade, this is the lighter shade, and then this is almost like a warmer tone grey, which is really, really bizarre. But yeah, I really, really like how they are looking, and I feel like it kind of ties the bedroom in together a little bit. It's nice to add just like little things that you can kind of like make changes to, and I feel like this like little touch just completes our bedroom even more. It makes me really, really happy every time I walk past. So yeah, one more thing that I picked up, I did warn you, it was a hell of a haul. I was doing some real retail therapy to cheer myself up. Well, if this isn't perfect timing, I'm just making myself another iced coffee, and I have officially run out of my last vanilla almond, so I'm going to switch these over, which is very, very good timing. I always get questions about these pumps as well. I picked these up on Amazon, so I will leave them linked down below, and it actually just makes pouring in the syrup so much easier because it's easier to tell people what you like. The amount of times I've got other people's syrup wrong, where they've been like, oh, not enough or a little bit too much today. It just means that they can be like 1 pump, 2 pumps, and it just means that you're a little bit more regulated with it. But yes, I am having an iced coffee. That is something that is still very much grounding me in summer. I'm not ready to switch to hot coffees. Alex did actually do me a hot coffee at the weekend, and as lovely as it was, I was like, no, I'm not ready for the hot coffees. Iced coffees, it still is. So yeah, a lovely new refill of my vanilla almond coffee syrup. I'm not gonna lie, I was hitting a little bit of a wall there, so feeling a lot better after my afternoon coffee. I feel like I'm just the typical person that always tries to run before I can walk. Like, I just hate being ill, I hate not being productive, I hate being not at like 100%, and sometimes I just need to be kinder to myself. I was literally saying in a vlog the other week before I went away that I'm going to try and listen to my body more and be kinder to myself, and here I am today like, no, come on, let's go, let's do it. And I forget, I was literally horizontal yesterday for the majority of the day, but feeling a little bit better after my coffee, and I thought I would unbox something that arrived whilst I was away. PetiteElliee always so kind to send me the new press releases, and I love trying their products. I have so many favourite PetiteElliee products that I always love. I always took quite a lot away with on holiday with me. I feel like PetiteElliee is such a like summer makeup brand and like skincare brand. I don't know why, I just always associate their products with like the summer months, really like lightweight, easy makeup, beautiful skincare. I don't know why, but to me it's just such a summer brand. So, ooh, this looks like a very exciting launch. In here, we have the vitamin C capsules, and this is actually something I was having a conversation with my mum about, because I am really bad at utilising vitamin C regularly in my skincare routine. I just forget, and I especially think when I'm trying to like pack light when I'm going away on holiday and I'm not wanting to take too much with me, it's the first thing that goes, and actually it's so good at giving that really like glowy, healthy, dewy skin. So it says this is a vitamin C serum for brightening, energizing, nourishing. They are biodegradable capsules, and they are the perfect dose every time. That is something that's really handy about capsules actually, is that you don't have to worry about like overdosing yourself or anything like that. So brighten up. These complexion boosters energize and nourish to promote your most luminous skin. Use daily on clean skin for the perfect dose of brightness every time. These capsules are biodegradable, vegan, and perfect for home, travel, or on the go. Show us how you use them for your skincare routine. I am really, really excited to try these. I think this is the first venture Pixie have ever done into capsules, and I'm really, really excited about it. Love how they look. These little gold capsules in the beautiful packaging. Also, can we just appreciate how aesthetic it looks? Like, that is just so beautiful. I really want them to bring out some like retinol capsules, because I absolutely love them, but I will have to give these a go tomorrow, because I feel like my skin could definitely just dropped it there, but my skin could definitely do with a little bit of a glow after not feeling well for a couple of days. So a really, really exciting delivery from Pixie. I can add that into my current skincare routine. I feel like that's quite an easy one to remember, because I'm just going to add it straight into my drawer, and then hopefully this will become part of my daily routine, and I'll remember to use these every single day. Honestly, I just keep having to clear my throat, but whilst we are chatting about Pixie products, I thought I would show you my 4 favourite Pixie products in my routine right now, because they have so many gorgeous bits out there, but I do sometimes find that, especially when it comes to skincare and makeup, it can be a little bit overwhelming. So this I've spoken about so many times, the H2O skin tint. If you never got on with the PetiteElliee, I can't remember what it's called, the PetiteElliee one that everyone talks about, I never got on with that, and I didn't understand why. I think for me, I need something a little bit more balmy and a little bit less of a serum and more moisturising, and this is absolutely amazing. As you can see, I use it a lot. I have the shade Nude at the moment. I either go between nude and beige depending on how tanned I am, but it's perfect because you can apply it with a brush, and you can apply it a little bit more heavy-handed, and it does look like a BB cream. It doesn't feel like it literally feels like a moisturiser, but it looks more BB cream-esque. Or you can literally use your fingers and apply it like a moisturiser, and then it just gives you that perfect like layer, that perfect glowy layer. And I don't just use this in the summer either. Like, I do use this for things like skiing when I don't really want to wear a lot of makeup and I just want something really like calming on the skin. I'll use it like the weekends. It's great for work if you don't really want much on your face. It's so comfortable to wear, so I love that. I then also love this is the Pixie On The Go Bronze, and this is really handy. I actually keep this in my gym bag because it's so great, especially these two products together. The fact that you can apply them both with your hands is so handy, so I always keep this in my gym bag in case I just need a little bit of a makeup top up whenever I've gone for a swim at the club, or if ever I've like gone to play tennis or go to the gym. I always bring that with me, so I really love that. It's basically just like a, I can open it with one hand. It's a bronzing stick, and it's so easy to apply that you just kind of like basically scrape it on your face, and then you can blend it in with your fingers. So really love that. I then know I've been chatting about these a little bit recently, but the Detoxify eye patches, absolutely love the fact that they're in this pot as well, because it doesn't feel as wasteful. Like, you can just take them out individually, you don't have to like take them out of packaging each time. So I really love those. And then of course the iconic Glow tonic. This is definitely my favorite tonic that Pixie do. They do a few different ones, but for me the Glow is just perfect. It has 5% glycolic acid, and it says it's an exfoliating toner, but it's not one that you can't use every day. Like, I use this one every single day, and I have quite sensitive skin. This was actually a personalised one they sent to me very kindly, so I use that every single night with just a reusable cotton pad. So my current favorite Pixie products, and I can add the vitamin C into this routine now as well. Oh, I've just realised that I've also not shown you my little shelfie refresh. You would have seen it in the background as I was showing you the new Homesense pieces, but camera, can you please stabilise? One thing that these cameras do, which drive me nuts, is it tries, do you see that? It tries to like balance. I feel like that's going to give you such a headache. I'm so sorry, but new little shelfie setup. It hasn't changed too much, but I just wanted to give it a bit of a rezhuzh, add a little bit of colour. As I said, I'm loving adding colour. I'm also just loving the greenery that we've got around the house at the moment. So I've got my favourite ochre. This is a faux olive tree. I do have mostly faux plants in the house, mainly because before becoming a gardener, I was never able to keep anything alive. I do think I would like to start adding in some more real plants into the house, because especially with regards to my my kitchen garden in the corner here, couldn't think of the word there, my little like herbs and stuff. I've loved having them. I've been able to like maintain them, look after them, water them, feed them. So I feel like it's now time. Like I'm old enough that I can have real plants, but I still do love like my faux olive trees and stuff, because especially right through winter, it just means that I still have a lot of foliage and it looks lovely. So this one's from ochre. This one I believe was from Wayfair, and I actually added in this faux moss. I saw this trick on TikTok, and it's basically faux moss with like packaging underneath it, and it's a great way to make the plant look a lot more real. That was actually a Homesense find quite a while ago as well. So I've got that one there, and then I've got some gorgeous eucalyptus faux leaves in this one. I've also added a little feather duster to this. We've got like aprons and stuff, a little feather duster. I just love being able to like change things up so slightly. It's one of my favourite things to do with regards to interiors. So of course we've still got my H&M bars. This is something that I've actually had literally since our flat in West London. I think they don't do it anymore, but I'll see if I can find the link and leave it down below. But it's one of those vases that I always get so many compliments on. It looks so expensive, and I just think it's such a feature. So I always love to have that one with its own little cubby, and then I also love this one to have its own cubby. This is actually a gorgeous faux arrangement of hydrangeas from the brand PetiteElliee. So it's very confusing when I say these are hydrangeas from PetiteElliee, but the brand is called PetiteElliee, and they do faux flowers, and I love them. I think they're really, really beautiful. They come in this kind of like concrete pot, which I think is gorgeous. And what I quite like is that there's like a green and white, so depending on my mood I can kind of like switch it around if I'm wanting more of the white flower or more of the green flower. I've then added this little shelf arrangement which I really, really like. I picked up this White Company candle recently. This is fresh grapefruit. It's such a gorgeous summery scent, so I'm really, really happy with that. And I love the White Company huge candles. I love the ones that are double as well, but yeah, I can start lighting that. I do find that these are okay to light candles in, but if I need to, I just pull it out and put it on the table. So I've started up with this gorgeous Zara home vase, which I really, really like. And then the chopping board that I picked up from Natural Isle, I really wanted to display it properly. And I felt like where it was on the kitchen, it just wasn't getting enough like recognition. It wasn't getting enough spotlight. It was kind of getting hidden by the other utensils that we have. So it's this really gorgeous kind of like oak, really beautiful chopping board. So I really, really love that. And I wanted these shelves to be a bit more of like working shelves as well. I've already got my teapot here, so it's nice to be able to bring that in and out, and I can obviously bring the chopping board in and out. I can use the jug for flowers, or I can use it for serving and things like that. So yes, this is a gorgeous little shelf setup that I love. The vintage teacups that I got from Matthew and Charlotte for my birthday. Gorgeous little teapot which I got from Mum ages ago. I think she picked it up from John Lewis, but it's stunning. I always get questions about this, and I've never been able to find anything since. And then my little vintage ballerina, which was my granny's. We then have another quite working shelf, some books that I am pulling in and out quite a lot. Obviously our wedding planner, which I'm using a lot at the moment. We probably need to have a bit of a wedding catch up soon, but yes, manifest. I always bring this out if I just need a little bit of help with regards to manifesting, if ever I feel off the bandwagon, or I just want to like reread something that Roxy has written. She just has such a way with words. This is then my recipe book, which I'll bring in and out, and then From Seed to Bloom, which I'm reading with regards to looking after the garden. And then just got a little basket, which in here I have closed up because it has winter scarves and things, so that's not needed right now. I then have a little shelf with some more books. I've got New Fashion Rules from Victoria, Elements of Style, this is all black style, I think that's called, Bobbi Brown Makeup Manual, lots of like coffee table books. And then on the bottom shelf, I always have to hide this like ugly, I don't actually know what is. I think it's like some kind of gas pipe. So I've just put this little stool, which actually was another Homesense find. It's been a very Homesense heavy haul, Homesense heavy video. Little Homesense stool, a cute little like faux flower arrangement. And then I always keep this hat there just in case I want to go outside, protect my scalp and do a bit of pottering in the garden. And then finished off with a little basket. I always love having baskets around the house. We've got this one, and then of course my Fortnum and Mason one over by the back door. So yeah, lots of updates around the house. I feel like it's just been so nice just having a bit of a refresh. I know I've been saying this in a few recent videos, particularly because the weather has just been a bit up and down recently in July, but I feel like it's been quite nice to kind of like bring my attention back indoors. I can get quite focused on outside whenever the weather is sunny, and all I want to do is make the garden look pretty, put the garden furniture out, to like update the garden on how it's looking, give it a bit of a glow up, and actually sometimes things can get a bit neglected inside. So it's quite nice to do a bit of like a midsummer home refresh, and particularly because at the weekend I wasn't feeling well. I did a bit of retail therapy, so I had some cute new bits to play about with, and it wasn't very nice weather. It was just like the perfect combination to have a proper like home update kind of a day. So really happy with how it's looking. I cannot even tell you how happy this bedroom now makes me. I love passing it. I love seeing the cushions. I feel like such a small change, it's just made such a like big difference to how I feel in here. But yeah, it's quite a little while later now, and I'm out of breath again just from walking up the stairs. But I think I'm actually gonna have a little bit of an early evening. I feel like it's been quite a like slow getting back into work mode. Actually, things have been a bit quiet today, which is quite nice. And I haven't like, I deliberately don't book in calls the first day I come back after a holiday. So I've got a call with my manager tomorrow, and I can have like a big catch up with her then. Today has just mainly been about me getting back into the swing of things, getting back into work, and showing you all of the updates, which has been really lovely to show you. And one thing that I want to do actually before I start kind of like getting cozy and getting settled down is to have a bit of a go through of some books. One thing that was so lovely about going away with my mum is I do always feel like mums are just so wise. Like I feel like as a teenager I never listened to her. I say this to her so many times now, I'm like, you are so wise and also so fashionable. Whenever she try and give me fashion advice, I'll be like, mum, obviously not. Whereas now I'm like, oh, I love that dress. Do you think I could get a matching one? Like, we actually have quite a few like similar clothing pieces where I'll wear something, she's like, oh, that's a nice dress. And I'm like, get it, definitely do it. If they do your size, like, get it. So yeah, and one thing that she was doing when we were on holiday, and I was like, oh, I just need to do that. She wasn't on her phone for the entire time that we were going to bed. Like for the last hour before heading to bed, she wouldn't pick up her phone, she wouldn't scroll through Instagram, she wouldn't scroll through like Facebook or anything like that. She would just read. She got through about 3 books in the week's holiday that we were there. And I really want to implement that into my routine. It's something that I tried to do earlier this year, and I feel like I just fell off the bandwagon. And I saw something that said, I think it takes 28 days to start a habit. So it is obviously really difficult to start a habit. However, psychologically, it's a lot easier to tweak a habit. So I've kind of come up with this like idea that I'm going to do instead of actually just like completely changing my habit, not going on my phone, not touching my phone, and like getting a book out, like a physical book. I just don't think it's going to work for me. So instead, because I was reading on the Kindle app on my iPad, I suddenly thought, oh my goodness me, why am I not using the Kindle app on my phone? So I've re-downloaded the Kindle app on my phone, and I'm gonna download a few books. I was reading I'll Take New York, which is such a good read. I'm almost finished with that, which I was reading on holiday. And I would love your book recommendations, because I feel like it's been such a long time since I've like gone through, looked at what I'm kind of in the mood for. I think I just want some like really easy, light-hearted reads, because I am such a like non-fiction book lover. Like especially things like self-help books and anything that's kind of like bettering you, that's like teaching you something. So whether it's like interior styling, or obviously my Seed to Bloom book, or like, you know, self-help or anything like that. I love non-fiction books, but obviously in the evening when you're winding down for bed, you don't really want to be like processing information. You just want like quite an easy story that you can just follow, and something that's like doesn't really take a lot of brain power. So if you have any good book recommendations, let me know. I think, what's her name? Thingy. Oh. Colleen Rooney, I think, is quite a good author that a lot of people would recommend. So leave me your book recommendations down below, and I will have a little look through, and I might download some, because I really want to make sure that this is a habit that I stick to, because I feel like it's just so healthy not scrolling through TikTok or Instagram or being on your phone in the evening, and just having something that's like taking your mind off things, helping you unwind. And I know obviously the blue lights are not good before you go to bed, but as I said, I'm going to be changing this habit, not starting a new one, not breaking it. It's just a little tweak that I feel like is a really great way of just making sure that I'm kind of like bettering myself with regards to my routine, going to bed, getting a better night's sleep. So yeah, leave me some recommendations down below. I feel like this has been quite a long vlog. There's been a lot of updates to show you, and it's been a long time since we've just done a single day video, so I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully I will just keep getting better and better throughout the week, and not feel so breathless, and not feel so like brain foggy. I really do feel quite brain foggy today because I've got quite a lot happening this week, a lot of exciting things, and I want to be back to 100% for that. So I'm gonna have an early evening, I'm gonna give myself some more time to rest, and I will catch you guys in the next vlog. Bye.